Tonight on News 5 Live, court prosecutors call in sick at the start of the October session of the High Court. An intruder breaks into the home of Justice Nigel Pilgrim, also of the High Court. A deadly shooting in Punta Gorda following a wake claims the life of Dana Gonzalez and leaves another man seriously injured. And Prime Minister John Briceño addresses the United Nations during the 2023 Sustainable Development Goals Summit. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
My beautiful Belize, my land of the free, my home and it's bound by the Caribbean Sea. Belize, we are free and independent, we're free and independent, free and independent, to be whatever you wanna be, free and independent, we're free and independent, free and independent, we're changing our country, we're free, so make we celebrate with smart, come celebrate with smart, make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart.
The entire Smart family wishes all Belizeans a safe and happy September celebration. Smart, bringing people together.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Out.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
Are you ready to join the party of the century? Brody's is celebrating 136 years of serving our amazing community. And what other way to do it than with a bang? Yes! It's a big deal. From September 25th to October 1st, customers will be able to enjoy a full week of sale, deals, and promotions. Yes, an entire week. 10% off groceries and pharmaceuticals, 20% off department store items, appliances and electronics, up to 50% off selected items for the entire week, September 25th to October 1st. Make it a date and don't be late. See you there. Like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more prizes and surprises. We would like to thank our customers who have been with us throughout the years. It is an honor to have earned your trust and loyalty. Brody's, service, value, satisfaction.
Caribbean Sprinter is proud to offer our best available rates to Belize residents online at sprinter.bz. Register today for our Sprinter Rewards program located on the resident section of our website. Skip the line when you book online with online check-in.
Yo, what's up? This is your boy Major, aka the King of Caribbean Comedy, and for the first time ever, I'm gonna be in Belize. That's right, it's all about Belize Comedy Entertainment Presents.
No, September the 30th, you're gonna make sure they're live and direct, you understand? Make sure they get on the money and don't second, check. Cause the rest of it, I don't know, it's like a man.
That's right, featuring Major Hype, White Yardie, and much more. It's gonna be crazy. Make sure y'all there. You know that it's already. Get your tickets right now.
In the fire for that comedy show, I want you.
Design Depot is your one-stop tile destination where unbelievable deals await. Explore our mega selection of tiles, starting at just $199 per square foot. Hurry, it's a limited time offer. Design Depot is your trusted source for quality tiles that make your dream spaces a reality. The ultimate tile destination. Design Depot, all in one place.
Atlantic Insurance informs our valued customers and the general public that our corporate headquarters and Belcan branch have been relocated. Our new location, the Atlantic Insurance Tower, located at 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway. All our phone numbers remain the same. Our Collett and Albert branches will remain at their existing locations. Join the Atlantic Insurance family today and experience the future of insurance. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, September 18th. I am Sabrina Daly. The official opening of the October session of the High Court was scheduled for today, and many cases are set to be heard in the weeks ahead. At 9 o'clock this morning, court officials were informed that the attorneys at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions had called in sick. The concerted absence effectively brought to a halt any matters that would have been dealt with today, including the start of trial for Kyle Zetina and Sean Flores, who stand accused of a triple murder involving a high school teacher, Alaris Andrewen, in June 2019. But were the Crown Counsels genuinely not feeling well, or was it a planned sick-out meant to send a message regarding the working conditions that they are subjected to? Back in July, less than a month after Attorney General Anthony Sylvester took office, a terse letter was sent from the DPP's office on behalf of all 11 prosecutors that brought to light the fact that they were not being paid commensurate to their respective duties. This was after a change in the judiciary that saw the introduction of several new judges, as well as the hiring of a judicial legal assistant whose remuneration package over a 2-year period exceeds $200,000. The prosecutors had also lobbied the government of Belize for adequate security, given the growing risks and threats associated with their jobs. In the wee small hours of this morning, a burglar broke into the residence of Justice Nigel Pilgrim in the Hollywood area of Lordsbank Village. The 44-year-old High Court judge from Trinidad and Tobago was asleep on the second floor of his home when he was startled by a loud bang. When he opened his bedroom door, Justice Pilgrim observed a dark-skinned male person with bald head running down the interior stairs of the building. The intruder then ran through the back door, making good his escape. Fortunately, nothing was stolen from Pilgrim's residence. However, when investigators responded to the scene sometime after 1 a.m., they discovered that the surveillance system on the property was not working. It is believed that the thief gained entry by cutting the burglar bars of the window on the southern end of the house. In crime news, a woman was murdered in Punta Gorda town over the weekend. A news team returned from PG just before news time this evening. We will have a report for you on that incident elsewhere in our newscast. But first, a San Ignacio resident is dead following a traffic accident in Belmopan. On Friday, 30-year-old Esvin Damien drove from San Ignacio to Belmopan to conduct a business transaction for his furniture store. Later that day, while driving along Constitution Drive towards the Hummingbird Highway, he lost control of his vehicle. Damien's Ford F-150 pickup truck collided into a roundabout and flipped into a nearby ditch. He received multiple injuries to the body and died about half hour later at the scene of the incident. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
A road traffic accident in Belmopan claimed the life of a 30-year-old carpenter from San Ignacio. On Friday night, Esvin Damien was driving his Ford F-150 in the capital city when he lost control of the pickup truck at a roundabout. Police confirmed these reports.
The police responded to a report of a fatal road traffic accident by the Blue Moon area in Belmopan. Upon the arrival, they saw a 150 pickup overturned and they saw the lifeless body of Esvin Damien, 30 years, inside the vehicle. Information is that the deceased was driving that vehicle when he lost control and he succumbed to his injuries.
Police are now awaiting the results of a post-mortem examination to determine whether alcohol was a factor in this fatal accident. Police say that they have received information to suggest that Damien was stopped at a checkpoint and giving the okay to proceed before the accident occurred. They are, however, looking to verify that information. Jamal Aviles, an eyewitness, spoke about what he saw.
I was coming out of Belmopan by the roundabout near, what's this location? This is around by Smoke Shop and the roundabout. As I crossed the speed bump, this black F-150 over there, he came and he passed right beside of me, like exact beside of me. He knocked out this first stone, he flipped over on the other side, and he flipped over to the way on the other side of the roundabout. He came in with a ball of speed. I stepped out my vehicle to go and render to assistance, but luckily the police was right nearby to control the scene. They were like seconds behind because they had just left out of one of the club establishments just now, so they were right nearby. So they called the hospital, and I called the hospital as well. And we just had to wait up until when the medics to arrive. I would have wanted to render some assistance as I am an EMT, but due to the nature of the situation, the police never wanted to do anything.
Aviles referred to the accident as a near-death experience. He says if Damien would have swerved only an inch more to the right, he would have also lost control of his vehicle.
This man literally passed inches next to me. If he was any more close, I would have been clipped and I would have been a part of this whole scenario right here, man. Like, it's a near-death experience, but thank God that I'm alive, man.
Damien was a carpenter. He owned a furniture store in San Ignacio. We spoke with his wife, who told us that she wants to remember her husband as the jovial, upbeat and hardworking individual that he was. She says the family remains in shock with more questions than answers. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
A Belize City woman claims that she was brutalized by police officers at the Raccoon Street police station when she went to file a report over the weekend. 52-year-old Charlotte Lamb says that she was socializing on Faubers Road at around 2 a.m. on Saturday morning when a man she knows threatened her life. As a result, she made her way over to the police station to file a report. Lamb told us that she had been drinking prior to visiting the station and that the officers realized she was under the influence of alcohol. She says, however, that when the officer told her to return the next day to make her report, she insisted that she would wait inside the police station until she is sober enough to file her complaint. According to Lamb, she got into a heated altercation with the officers. She claims that the officers ganged up on her and threw her out of the station, causing bodily harm in the process. She has a medical form and the bruises on her arm to back up her claim. Here is what she told us.
I went to the Raccoon police station like about 3:10 roughly, around about that time, 3:30 Saturday morning, because I was by Faber's Road at one lady, Miss P, right? She had a little shop there, you drink beers or you buy your chicken, whatever. So I was there talking to a young man, and then a young man that I knew from since his mother have them, Cynthia, that's my friend, so he know that I normally go there to do my hair. Anyway, what happened is now I was talking to his friend that he went in the vehicle with, whereby he said something to me where I never appreciated of. So he know the young man Whereby I said to him, listen, you don't normally speak with me, so you don't need to speak with me because I'm speaking to your friend. This is me and your friend conversation, not yours. He been like adjutant because I said that to him. I said, because you don't normally speak with me ever since I know you from one of your mother child. It's only Chelsea, your sister, Kelsey and Floyd that normally spoke with me. But you have not one day spoke with me ever since I know you. You mentioned that you are 30 years old. So all I'm asking you, not speaking my conversation while I'm speaking to the young man that they called Lip. Anyways, he went on and on and on and on saying, oh, listen to me, let me tell you, you know, with a bad word. Let me tell you, you know, I'm like, oh, I want to make you know, either from Faber's Road and my gang with me will make sure after you don't call the police, because I call the police, right? After you don't call the police, we will make sure that you don't walk Faber's Road from the beginning to the ending and come back here no more. So I like, really, so you want Faber's Road and you're that from a gang. All right then, Mr. Gang. I want to see you and your gang, they make I not come Faber's Road no more, whereby I was not disrespecting you, was just asking a favor from you. You didn't want to understand, you just want to be bully.
Before, I don't mean to cut you short, but I'd like for us to get to, because I understand that's the backstory, but I want for us to get to the point where you had an encounter with the police, because this is about your encounter with the police, and that's what we want to talk about here.
All right, this is the encounter with the police, how it happened. I went to the police station, the Raccoon police station, right? Okay, I went in there, there was a lady behind the table sitting down, doing whatever she were doing on the computer. I said, I came here to make a report why young man had disrespected me. So she said, what is the report? And then I said, the young man cussed me directly, my name, Charlotte Lamb, you know what, all. I corner back of Faber's Road. Was really adjutant. I got the video where I record. I was crying. That little boy disrespect me in every way I can. Anyways, now the lady said, miss, you are under the influence, right? How much you drink? I told her how much I drink. She said, okay, miss, you could come back tomorrow. All right, I understand. Now a police now come outside now in our arrogant manner for said, let's go, miss, you know, you're the lady, don't tell you, come back tomorrow. No, I really mad because then, come on, I am not a dog. They need to know how to talk to people. I am a human as well as them. She got up. Coming
up, a mother murdered and her common-law husband shot up in Punta Gorda. We'll have more details when we come back.
Pull up. On my last feet, right? Well, I hope I'm ready, because the next big thing, Yo, brother, the next big thing, hope I'm ready. The big thing to come. My last feet, right? Well, I hope I'm ready, because the next big thing, Well, I hope you're ready, because the next big thing is coming. Never worry about it. My last feet, right? Hope you're ready, brother. Unlimited experience there. You are never around to do that again. Listo, porque ya está aquí. Unlimited is unlimited.
Wednesday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. The Caribbean Queen of Soca, Patrice Roberts, with her band.
I don't drink water and mind my business.
Meets the King of Dancehall, Beanie Man, with his band.
Who got the keys to my about wrong?
Limited Ultra VIP for $225. Limited VIP for $135. And $45 for general admission.
Wednesday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. Patrice Roberts meets Beanie Man.
Sponsored by
You have the right to your life. It's clearly the most important right. If you don't have your life, you don't have nothing. You have a right to your freedom, to your liberty. You are entitled to the protection of the law. Every one of you, to every law we exist. The rule of law in our nation is that everybody is equal in the sight of the law and must be treated equally. You have to have freedom of movement. Anybody could jump in any boat, any bus, and go anywhere they want in this country. Nobody can stop and say, but you're from Corozal, where did you do? No. We are free to move any way we want to. We are free to exercise our conscience. You know how much people I meet that don't have no conscience? I think they're not sure that there's a word like conscience. You have one conscience, don't get confused. You have one God and you have one conscience.
This ad is brought to you by the People's Constitution Commission.
We are not going to sit down and allow him or anybody else to walk over us and take away our rights.
David Gegg is no stranger to building projects no one asked for. Projects the people don't want.
David Gegg plans to build a multi-million-dollar marina, restaurant, bar, gas station and three-story office complex, and residents say they'll stop at nothing to ensure he doesn't get it.
No way, Mr. Gegg, may God take you away from here.
You got to move on, Mr. Gegg, because you won't be nice if you come here. The people are going to retaliate, and then you will lose more than what you're, and then you walk over us while you all grab and sweep with all your greed. You can keep the smirk on your face with all your millions, but it is not going to be easy.
The world is changing, my dear. The city is changing, and you gotta change with it.
Back then, just like today, he was able to get environmental approval from the then PUP government.
The ambitious project has gotten the green light from the Department of Environment to proceed with construction.
And back then, just like today, he did not own the land he was building on.
Gegg doesn't own the land, but rather the 3,333 square yards which has been designated as a reserve mangrove area.
And this wasn't even the first time David Gegg tried to take Belize's natural heritage all for himself.
David Gegg hoped to transform 33 miles of the reef into a park. That portion of the reef would be protected by exclusive rights of access and a 25-year monopoly.
Sound familiar? He was not successful in 2004 or 2007. And now that his party is back in power, he's trying to take it all for himself again. David Gegg, bad for business, bad for Belize.
Westtrack Limited is committed to working hard every day to ensure you get the right products at the most affordable price. We strive to have the greatest selection of quality, affordable, and timely products and services that will enhance your personal or corporate lives. With an extensive line of products, we'll be sure to have what you need. For even faster service, you can contact us on Facebook, WhatsApp, or by email. We look forward to seeing you come through our doors at your nearest Westtrack branch today.
The sound of gunshots permeated the dead of night on Far West Street in Punta Gorda town in the early hours of Saturday morning, as a woman and her common-law husband were targeted during a shooting. When the shooting subsided, 35-year-old Dana Gonzalez lay dead, and 22-year-old Gustavo Mendez was critically wounded. The report is that a man on a bicycle wearing a jacket with a hood pulled over his head fired the deadly salvo. But several witnesses saw a tattoo on his neck, and that gave the police a lead to go on. Today, Gonzalez's mother and her best friend told News 5 how much the incident has permanently changed their lives. Marian Ali reports.
35-year-old Dana Gonzalez, a mother of a 10-year-old girl, was shot dead in the wee hours of Saturday. And her common-law husband, 22-year-old Gustavo Mendez, is fighting for his life after both of them came under fire around the lane from their house in the Hollywood area of Punta Gorda. The incident happened shortly after 2, just after they had left a wake. Her best friend, Vanessa Santos, was at the wake with her.
Around 7, so me and she decided so we're going to wake for her family that died, Jet. So me and she went to the wake together. And when we were at the wake, we sit there and stuff. From there, she went and buy her cigarette, because you know she loves her cigarette. So I get a text like 11 o'clock and say that I got work. So I said, okay. I tell her, girl, D, I got work, so I not hang long. She said, all right then, sis. So I tell her, go order our food for my sister. She said, okay, I will order from Miss Ellie. She went and ordered her food. I went and I go and pick up my food. But before I left, she said, where's Shannon? I tell her, Shannon is at the wake. She said, remember, I'm going to sleep that Shannon. I said, okay. So she said, tomorrow, right, Julie, she said, not forget when you come from work, me and you get continue collect donation for the float. I never know that would have been the last time I was going to see my friend.
Dana's mother, Petra Jacobs, told News 5 that she has to be strong now for Dana's only child, a little girl aged 10, and for the rest of the family.
I believe in a God and I believe in His hand He have the whole world. And I have a granddaughter, she dead left at 10-year-old. So I have to be strong for she, and I have other kids too. So I put everything in God's hands. I know my daughter has a personal problem with nobody, everybody loves she. I just think she must be there at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Later on Saturday, a group of neighborhood residents took to lighting tires on the street to demand justice. Santos told us that this is the second time that they have lost a resident within a short span to gun violence, and this time it has created a void.
It really touched all of us because my best friend cousin died by gunshot and we never get no justice. So when Dana died, we just start the fire because we need justice. She's like a leader of Hollywood. You need anything. If someone dead, me and she party, me and she cook together, me and she do everything together. Dana is like a second mom to my kids. If I want to travel from here to Belize, I said, girl, Jules, babysit for me. I said, okay, send them, pick me. Especially my last son, they had a bond.
Dana Gonzalez was, by all accounts, a community activist who wanted better for her neighborhood. Allen Nunes said she was an example for the children.
She's always active in the community, always around any celebration, any function that has to do with fundraising for an event. She's always put herself to go above and beyond.
On Saturday night, the community attended a candlelight vigil in her honor at the same court where she had spearheaded many community events before.
Right there on this court, we put some candle with her picture with flowers, and we do a march, and we went.
As you just heard, the Hollywood community in Punta Gorda is reeling from the loss of one of their own, Dana Gonzalez, who was gunned down while walking home from a wake in the area early Saturday morning. Eyewitnesses' accounts shared with the police have given investigators a lead, and today Assistant Commissioner of Police Alberto Romero told reporters that they already have a suspect who they are looking for.
On Saturday, the 16th day of September 2023, Punta Gorda police responded to a report of a shooting on Far West Street, Punta Gorda town, where upon arrival they found the motionless body of Dana Gonzalez, and Gustavo Mendez was seen with gunshot injuries. Information is that these two persons had left a wake in the area when they were targeted by a male person who fired several shots towards the direction, causing the fatal injuries to Dana Gonzalez and the gunshot injuries to Gustavo Mendez. Gustavo Mendez is in a stable condition, and we are conducting an investigation into this matter. We have issued a warrant for the arrest of Fabriel Zavala, who is wanted for this murder.
Is it a fact that he formerly had some type of relationship with the murder victim?
No, the information is he had a conflict with Gustavo Mendez, and that is the motive that we have established for this murder. Gustavo Mendes apparently was the intended target.
I see. No, sir, we know that murders in Punta Gorda are extremely rare. Is the suspect a sort of known criminal, or does he have any known gang affiliation?
Yes, he is known in Punta Gorda. He is known to us, and we are looking for him. The information is that he may have left the district and maybe in the Cayo area.
Okay, so being that the warrant has been issued, he is being sought pending a charge of murder and attempted murder.
That is correct.
There was also a shooting on Custard Apple Street in Belize City over the weekend that left one man injured. Since the start of the September celebrations, the police department has been working overtime in an effort to reduce incidents of crime and violence. Here's more from Assistant Commissioner of Police, Alberto Romero.
On the 17th day of September 2023, police responded to a shooting at Custard Apple Street in Belize City. Upon the arrival, they found one Jaheim Lawrence with gunshot injuries. Information is that he was inside his house when a male person came and fired several shots towards the house, causing his injury. He is at the KHMH in a stable condition. We are seeking 2 suspects in regards to this shooting.
This is in Belama Phase 2, right?
That's correct.
Are you able to say the time of day?
The
time of day, you said the 17th, but not the time of day.
Sometime around 9 p.m.
Okay. Are you all aware if there was any earlier dispute or conflict which may have led to this?
Yes, there was some confrontation he had with some male persons, and thereafter one person came and fired the shots.
After the break, PM on free education and social protection at 2023 SDG Summit. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, proudly celebrates its 120th anniversary of service and achievement in the Americas. PAHO began operating in Belize in the early 1950s. PAHO committed to providing technical cooperation to strengthen the capacity of Belize's health sector and improve the health of the people of Belize. The Malaria Eradication Program, which began in 1974, is one of the great success stories of PAHO's collaboration with the government of Belize. Since December 2018, Belize has reported 0 cases of malaria, placing the country well on track toward malaria elimination. For other vector-borne diseases like dengue, chikungunya, and Zika, PAHO led public health responses in Belize, which included surveillance, prevention and control, and the mobilization of resources. The emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 presented the greatest global public health challenge in recent history. In Belize, PAHO supported the Ministry of Health and Wellness by training lab personnel to diagnose SARS-CoV-2, evaluating isolation and long-term facilities, providing technical guidance for decentralized testing, and supporting procurement of COVID-19 test kits, medical and laboratory equipment and supplies, PPE, and IT communication equipment and materials. PAHO facilitated the acquisition of COVID-19 vaccines through COVAX and supported the COVID-19 vaccination rollout, contributing to 64.62% of the target population being fully vaccinated by December 30, 2021. PAHO has built national capacity through specialized training to address non-communicable diseases such as heart disease, cancer and diabetes, which have been leading causes of death in Belize. With PAHO's support, all public hospitals have been certified as baby-friendly hospitals, as have 3 public polyclinics. The Smart Hospitals initiatives was launched in Belize in 2016 and to date has retrofitted 5 health facilities countrywide. In collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO is providing safer, greener, climate-resistant health facilities to deliver care in disasters, generate operational savings, and reduce disaster losses. The launch of the National One Health platform in October 2022 will foster a coordinated, multi-sectorial collaboration to address the full spectrum of disease control, from prevention to detection, preparedness, response, and management. PAHO Belize will continue its decades-long commitment to the government and people of Belize in achieving the highest standard of health and well-being for all persons through universal access to healthcare, universal health coverage, resilient health systems, and quality health services throughout the life course.
Get between Belize City, Key Cocker, and San Pedro on a ferry faster than anyone else with Caribbean Sprinter. You better Belize it. Get with us online at sprinter.bz.
Yo, my Belize family, walk, go on, listen, guess who's back? Me, soon forward again, that's right. I'll be back performing live on Saturday, the 30th of September. So make sure you're there, get your ticket them, don't miss out. Cause every time I come to Belize, I shell down. So don't miss out, this is your warning. Me I tell you now, so me I come Belize again for the 3rd time. Yeah!
You name fire for that comedy show, I want you.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
My beautiful Belize, my land of the free, my home and it's bound by the Caribbean Sea. Belize, we are free and independent. We're free and independent, free and independent to be whatever you wanna be. Free and independent. We're free and independent, free and independent. We're changing our country. We're free, so make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart.
The entire Smart family wishes all Belizeans a safe and happy September celebrations. Smart, bringing people together.
Wednesday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. The Caribbean Queen of Soca, Patrice Roberts, with her band. Meets the King of Dancehall, Beanie Man, with his band.
Limited Ultra VIP for $225. Limited VIP for $135. And $45 for general admission.
Wednesday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. Patrice Roberts meets Beanie Man.
Sponsored by
The United Nations is at the halfway point in a deadline to achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals agenda. And the general consensus is that stagnating progress in numerous countries is putting the SDGs in peril. World leaders are now meeting to determine the way forward for the next 15 years. Prime Minister John Briceño left the country last week to attend the summit. He gave an address this afternoon during the leaders' dialogue. Here is what he had to say about Belize's progress.
While ongoing crises are deterring our efforts, systemic inequities at global levels have long been undermining our aspirations. Today, I reaffirm Belize's unwavering commitment to achieving the SDGs. These goals remain the only ambitious, universally agreed blueprint to achieve an equitable and sustainable future for all. The highest priority for my government is reducing poverty. Belize commits to reducing poverty by 50% by 2030, in alignment with the fundamental principle of leaving no one behind. We are committed to redoubling our actions to build resilience and ensure that everyone wins by implementing the National Energy Policy, the National Land Use Policy, develop a comprehensive industrial strategy that integrates green and blue industrial policies, achieve protection of 30% of the marine space by 2026, including protection of 20% of the coral reef, implement our national blue economic policy. We further commit to reducing land degradation through our land restoration strategy, mitigate biodiversity lost via the revised national biodiversity strategy, implement integrated water resource management approaches, and foster agroforestry systems.
PM Briceño's remarks at the 2023 SDG Summit also focused on key areas of social protection, education, and disaster risk reduction. The Prime Minister also made an urgent call for greater international assistance for developing nations.
2024, implement a national risk management plan supplemented by disaster-specific strategies for hurricanes, floods, and droughts. By 2025, finalize a special education policy, expand the free education policy programs in impoverished areas, implement early childhood development investments, expand adult remedial initiatives. Approve by 2024 a costed social program, social protection strategy. Implement by 2026 our national digital agenda to modernize governance. To accelerate achievement of all SDGs, we will legally establish and resource an empowered Sustainable Development Department. Regrettably, international cooperation and development finance are not at the scale required. I reiterate Belize's urgent call for reform of the international financial architecture and the adoption of the multidimensional vulnerability index. The SDGs is a collective commitment. Taiwan and other partners are supporting our pursuit, and I call others to join us.
While Prime Minister John Briceño addressed the United Nations earlier today, Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde is in Havana, Cuba, where he also addressed a gathering of over 100 members of the Group of 77, also known as the G77 plus China. During his speech, the DPM touched on the climate crisis, as well as the decades-long blockade on Cuba.
It's an awesome evening when over 100 members of the G77 plus China can gather and agree on a way forward that prioritizes the use of science and technology and innovation for our collective development. But for meaningful development to take place, the existing international financial institutions and the developed world must reassess cruel and unfair classifications, give flesh to the world when it comes to pledges of grants and assistance for the developing world. Action must follow words. I mean, how much longer will we continue to see the damning and ominous effects of the climate crisis before the developed countries act with alacrity and decisiveness and instill the purpose that's required when our very existence is under threat? I mean, it's not like they don't know this. They know this. They speak this, but they don't do this. It is clear that we, the leaders of the developing countries, often understand the issues, crave the solutions, know the best practices, but individually many times we are not able to afford those solutions. This topic is not new to us. The framework for the application of science, technology, and innovation already exists via the Paris Agreement and the Global Digital Compact. Much has been accomplished through UNESCO, UNCTAD, UNIDO, and others too numerous to name, and we know more can be achieved with efficacy. But that's the feel-good part of it. It's uncomfortable for me to be here discussing in comfort this laudable idea of us working towards a more equitable world where citizens have the opportunity to innovate, thrive, and add value to their communities, when right at this very moment, there are arbitrary, unilateral, coercive, and immoral blockades on this here country and too many others.
On Sunday in Belmopan, 3 new ambassadors to Belize presented their credentials to Governor General Dame Froila Salam at the Belize House. The ambassadors are His Excellency Carlos Garcia of Guatemala, His Excellency Agostino de Carvalho dos Santos Vandunem of Angola, and Her Excellency Ragnhild Immersland of Norway. The GG also received a courtesy call from Her Excellency Sonia Kopp, High Commissioner of Australia to Belize. Coming up, there's much more news after the break.
Babe, when you want to repaint the guest room, remember to fix the faucet too.
Take a break from rising prices and come into Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet for our sizzling September sale. Shop and save with these great deals, like 15% off select brands of our signature paints, and 20% off all Pisaforte tiles and all cement outdoor tiles, plus big discounts on thinset. But it doesn't stop there. Get 15% off all Moen products and 30% off clearance models. Enjoy 15% off Sunlight aluminum and vinyl windows and doors. And get 20 to 60% off decorative light fixtures. Come on down and celebrate September with incredible deals at Brothers Habet and Habet and Habet. Call, WhatsApp, or email us for more info. Happy September, Belize.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RF&G Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RF&G Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
are not going to sit down and allow him or anybody else to walk over us and take away our rights.
David Gegg is no stranger to building projects no one asked for. Projects the people don't want.
David Gegg plans to build a multi-million-dollar marina, restaurant, bar, gas station and three-story office complex, and residents say they'll stop at nothing to ensure he doesn't get it.
No way, Mr. Gegg. May God take you away from here. You got to move on, Mr. Gegg, because it won't be nice if you come here. The people are going to retaliate, and then you will lose more than what you're, and then you walk over us while you all grab and sweep with all your greed. You can keep the smirk on your face with all your millions, but it is not going to be easy.
The world is changing, my dear. The city is changing, and you gotta change with it.
Back then, just like today, he was able to get environmental approval from the then PUP government.
The ambitious project has gotten the green light from the Department of Environment to proceed with construction.
And back then, just like today, he did not own the land he was building on.
Gegg doesn't own the land, but rather the 3,333 square yards which has been designated as a reserve mangrove area.
And this wasn't even the first time David Gegg tried to take Belize's natural heritage all for himself.
David Gegg hoped to transform 33 miles of the reef into a park. That portion of the reef would be protected by exclusive rights of access and a 25-year monopoly.
Sound familiar? He was not successful in 2004 or 2007. And now that his party is back in power, he's trying to take it all for himself again. David Gegg, bad for business, bad for Belize.
Not only do we have the most reliable ferry service between San Pedro, Keycocker, and Belize City, we also have a pretty awesome crew. Check us out at sprinter.bz.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
November 5th has been set as the date for the PUP City Council Convention, and speculations have been running rampant for the past few days. Word is that Mayor Bernard Wagner has already received the nod from the party's hierarchy to run uncontested as mayor for a third term. Wagner had set this condition in place from the get-go, expressing his wish to finish work that COVID had put a delay on. But if he has gotten the party to grant his wish, it would mean that all the other mayoral applications that were accepted from others to vie for the seat have been trashed. Today, Deputy Mayor Alan Pollard, who had submitted his application to run for the position, told News 5 that the PUP executive hasn't given any indication as yet on whether the convention will be an endorsement of Wagner or an election for all the contenders. Pollard also said that if Wagner is endorsed, the party must explain the grounds for its decision.
For right now, we're just waiting to hear confirmation from the party. I know the national executive have not met yet, but we're awaiting to see what the results would be of that. There's a lot of people who believe that a convention is healthy. It's the healthy route, and I think that they also believe, and it's their position as well, that the people need to decide who they want to lead them going forward. And I think that is a fair process, and I think not only for me, but for the people who support us and also the other candidates as well. I mean, we have to, in order to come up with a decision, there have to be some level of, some grounds, right? Or some explanation as to why you are not entertaining the candidates, or why is it that you even say that you want applicants when from the onset you want to go a different route. I've been battle tested before. It's not my first convention, and you know, I have made sure that my alliance has always been with the people of the city. Right? Those are the people who I go to. Those are the people who guide me, and I think that my people, my machinery, I'm confident in, and I think that we're just waiting for that moment.
Pollard says that he has a lot of plans that he wants to implement if given the chance to run the city. He says that if the convention endorses Mayor Wagner, he and his supporters will be very disappointed. However, he didn't go as far as saying that he will protest such a decision.
I can do a lot more in the city. I have a lot of passion. I love this city. This is where I live. This is where I want to grow and where I want to raise kids. Things like infrastructure-wise, things of we want to create Belize City into not only a stop-in, but a destination in itself. We want to empower businesses. We want to empower the business community. We want to give some level of relief to residents and to business people who feel as if though they haven't been given a fair deal as stakeholders within the city. And that's just to name a few. And we have so many people that want to participate that we haven't been given the opportunity to voice their recommendations, right? And I think that once new leadership is being introduced in the council, I think that we will see exactly the potential that our city has.
If there's an endorsement, will you have a protest?
I think that's too premature to mention right now, but what I will say is that the people who support me and the people who put their trust in the process and the party, those are the people who would be mostly disappointed.
If you don't get what you want and the mayor is endorsed, then what happens to your plans? Do you still look at Queen Square on that bigger scale?
Well, for me, that's always the goal, right? That's always the goal. And for me, I want to echo, and I want people to understand that for me, it's not any particular seat. We just want the opportunity to serve, whether it's our country, whether it's our city. And that's what I'm here for. I'm a servant of the people. I'm here to serve Belize. And that's where my interest lies. It's nothing specific, nothing position specific, you know. And we just, at the same time, we just want our fair chance. I just want a fair chance and a fair opportunity to represent my party in any capacity, right? And that's what we're fighting for. That's been the fight.
Today, the media joined the Forest Department on an all-day visit to the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve in the Cuba district. Invited on the trip were Standard 6 students from the nearby San Antonio Government School. The goal of the exercise was to shed light on the economic and ecological benefits of the reserve, or as they put it, the ecosystem goods and services that the Forest Reserve provides. Officer in charge of the Douglas de Silva Forest Station in the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve, Chaneli Carrillo Balan, shares more details.
We see that a lot of times we receive these benefits, but we sometimes take them for granted. We have fresh air, we receive clean water in our homes, but we sometimes don't understand about why we're receiving these services, where are they coming from, how does it all work. So today it is to highlight these benefits, to understand, you know, how these processes possibly work a little bit and why we need to make sure that we play our part to ensure that we have them in the longer run. So here in the Mountain Pine Ridge, we receive a lot of benefits. For example, as you mentioned, tourism. Tourism is a very important part of what happens here in this reserve. This is one of the reserves that has a very high visitation rate from tourists, and that plays a very important role in the amount of people that it hires in the area from the nearby communities, for example. Also, it comes to the logging. We lumber to build our houses, to build our furniture, for school chairs. So all of these, the lumber comes from our forest, not specifically specifically here. Here we see pine, but it comes from our forests. So it is very important. But also, for example, the water. Did you know that the San Antonio community receives its water supply from the Mountain Pine Forest Reserve? So these are the very important benefits that we're receiving from this area, and we want the stakeholders, the buffer communities, to start appreciating them a little bit more.
On Tuesday, we'll have a feature on the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve and its link to culture, tourism, and economic benefit to the community. Tonight, we'll look back at the weekend's celebration activities, including the Belize National Song Competition 2023 and the annual Panyad Concert. Here's that story.
Our beautiful country.
Celebrating the cultural diversity of Belize through music and dance was the highlight of this weekend's activities, beginning with the annual National Song Competition on Friday.
Belize the greatest, Belize my home, so much undiscovered, so much still unknown. Belize the greatest, Belize my home, wonders discovered, many wonders unknown.
In the land of the Caribbean, Mexico down to Panama, lies the country of my ancestors. Let me tell you, with faces from just near and far. It's a land of totally freedom.
September time only come, and the crab season just done. It's celebration time to broke down and wine. Everybody come to have fun. All the people they gather around, and the mango they drop on the ground. I got me tablet of pepitos and punch for eat when the rice and beans done.
This year, 8 finalists were chosen to compete for the coveted prize, and the performances did not disappoint.
Go on a vacation. Whoa, oi. Hey, hey, oh. You wanna go on a vacation? Well, I have the perfect destination. Pack up your things and come along.
Help me sing, yo! Independent and united Belizeans, thanks to the father of the nation, George Kiddo Christ, who made our lifetime song. We must show reverence every day. Can't afford to use, we go and stay. Are you guys having a good time? We protecting Womanfall culture together as one. Belize, this stuff we believe. National heritage, cultural diversity.
Yes, they want to know where I'm from. I'm a born Belizean, no doubt. Wherever I go, yes, they want to know.
B-E-L-I-Z-E, B-E-L-I-Z-E. Make I tell you about my old story, how me ancestors them get glory. After war and fight for this land, today I feel proud to be Belizean. And every time I walk through the streets, I feel so blessed, so good and so free. And every time my foot touch a beach, I feel
Of the musicians who took the stage at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts, one would emerge victorious. It's a face many are familiar with, having made a name for herself right here on Channel 5. In the end, Marilyn Vanson took home the $20,000 award.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Belize National Song Competition for 2023 goes to none other than Miss Marilyn Vanson. And apart from her cash prize, she also won herself a beautiful trophy, courtesy of the National September Celebration Commission.
On Saturday night, the excitement of Belizean music shifted over to the House of Culture, where several steel bands from across the country took part in the 2023 Panyard Concert, a showcase of steel pan music. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Up next in this week's Sports Monday, Junior Cycling National Team medals in Dominican Republic.
My name is Denise Mala. I had an aunt, one of my mom's sister, that we believe died from cancer. She was relatively young. And my sister passed from cervical cancer. I have been doing annual checkups. Recently, after one of the annual checkups, I noticed, a change in one of my breasts. I went for the next checkup earlier and I brought it to the attention of my treating doctor. He looked at it and he said he didn't like what he was seeing. A biopsy was requested and then the biopsy came back positive. When you first find out these things, you think about a lot of things, and then eventually it comes around to the finance. I recalled this insurance, critical illness insurance that I had that I was paying, and that was probably the first time I read that contract. I read it in its entirety, and then I recognized that, this is going to assist me. I called the office, spoke with my agent. He was very helpful, guided me through what I needed to do. So I went through the process and I communicated with him a couple of times and he just informed me what was happening. In a pretty short period of time, I was paid my insurance. This plan that I had been paying for many years, in my time of need, that came through for me. Having that insurance helped me significantly. It is absolutely something that everyone should consider because you never know when you're going to need it.
Available at Benny's, quality and savings.
We are not going to sit down and allow him or anybody else to walk over us and take away our rights.
David Gegg is no stranger to building projects no one asked for. Projects the people don't want.
David Gegg plans to build a multi-million-dollar marina, restaurant, bar, gas station and three-story office complex, and residents say they'll stop at nothing to ensure he doesn't get it.
No way, Mr. Gegg. May God take you away from here. You got to move on, Mr. Gegg, because it won't be nice if you come here. If people are going to retaliate, and then you will lose more than what you're, and then you walk over us while you all grab and sweep. With all your greed, you can keep a smirk on your face with all your millions, but it is not going to be easy.
The world is changing, my dear. The city is changing, and you gotta change with it.
Back then, just like today, he was able to get environmental approval from the then PUP government.
The ambitious project has gotten the green light from the Department of Environment to proceed with construction.
And back then, just like today, he did not own the land he was building on.
Gegg doesn't own the land, but rather the 3,333 square yards which has been designated as a reserve mangrove area.
And this wasn't even the first time David Gegg tried to take Belize's natural heritage all for himself.
David Gegg hoped to transform 33 miles of the reef into a park. That portion of the reef would be protected by exclusive rights of access and a 25-year monopoly.
Sound familiar? He was not successful in 2004 or 2007. And now that his party is back in power, he's trying to take it all for himself again. David Gegg, bad for business, bad for Belize.
Good night and welcome to another edition of Sports Monday. I am Paul Lopez. The man who has no imagination has no wings. That is a quote from the one and only Muhammad Ali, and our junior cycling national team most certainly soared to the top with their outstanding performance at the Caribbean Junior Cycling Games in the Dominican Republic. Gabriel secured a gold medal in the individual time trial and a bronze medal in the road race championship. Jalen Brisenia secured a bronze medal in the individual time trial. We caught up with the team at the Philip Golson International Airport upon their return.
It was definitely, I think, one of the happiest moments of my life to stand on the podium and hear the Belizean national anthem play in a foreign land, especially holding the flag on the #1 spot on the podium. I held it with pride, especially in the month of September. So.
What would you say, what do you attribute to your first place in time trial against the competition from across the Caribbean?
I think I put a lot of work into my time trial because it's a guaranteed win. There's not many factors that can affect you in a time trial as it can affect you in a road race. So I think I prepared extra for the time trial. So I went in confident in the time trial.
And for the road race, what was the mindset? You received bronze.
Yeah, I got bronze. I tried my best to get away, but it was impossible. It was next to impossible, especially after the time trial. I think I had a big target on my back because my time was kind of a lot faster than the others. So it was like I was a target for the road race.
Personally, for me, it's a great honor to actually bring back something to my country. You know, it's always been a dream to, first of all, be selected for the national team, and even a greater experience to actually be on the podium compared to other guys from all over the Caribbean, right? And it honestly, when I went there, it was very intimidating because, like, you know, I'm a small guy. Like, everybody was like way bigger, but I still went out there and like gave it my all.
We were the force to be reckoned with out there. It's like once Belize move, we have to move. Gabi had a hard time trying to get away from the crowd because of her winning the gold medal in the time trial. Everybody knew that she was the one to watch. But yes, this is a building block, and this, I want all these young people to see that you put in the work, you get the opportunity, and you bring results.
And staying on cycling, this weekend the Belize Tourism Board hosted its annual September Criterium, which is a bicycle race on a circuit road course. This Sunday's race was held on the Albert Regent Street Circuit. Here are some highlights courtesy Ordones Bike Shop. This is the start of the junior and youth race on Regent Street. Asher Bilal immediately makes a breakaway. Here on the second lap of the race is Guns rider Steven Sylvester blazing a trail all alone. In the fifth lap, rolling shutters Ivan Usher attacked the main peloton to take the lead. Devontae Bennett quickly responded. That was followed by an attack by Guatemala's Kevin Rojas for the lead. Late in the race, with only 2 laps remaining, Kevin Rojas is all alone out front. In the lead, Rojas catches up with the tail of the race and laps the main group of riders. At the finish line, it is Kevin Rojas for the win in the junior and youth category. That was an easy one for Rojas. And now for some action from the elite riders. Early in the races, Imani's Devin Azueta and G-Flow's Jiven Gonzalez in the lead. 6 riders are now up front on Regent Street, including Sean Codd, Carlton Robinson, Oscar Quiros, and Giovanni Lovell. Oscar has now taken the lead in this one, followed by Carlton Robinson, Giovanni Lovell, and Wasani Castro. Sean Codd launches an attack on Regent Street to open a gap between the lead group of riders. Sean Codd is still in the lead, all alone as he swings off Albert Street and onto Regent Street. Codd would eventually be caught by the main lead group. Again, it is Sean Codd with the lead on Albert Street after launching another attack on Regent Street. but Oscar Quiros remains in pursuit. With 12 laps remaining, Jaiven Gonzalez has been holding the lead and will continue to do so for several more laps. Oscar Quiros, Carlton Robinson and Giovanni Lovell continues to pursue Gonzalez as they seek to close this long-standing gap. Now we're at the finish line. It's Oscar Quiros. Oscar Quiros in first place, followed by Jaiven Gonzalez and Giovanni Lovell. We heard from Quiros.
Jaiven did a very good job out there. I have to give him his props. I enjoy when you ride like that. I mean, you look to serve best for everybody, right? Challenge each other, and that's a clean racing. I love it, and I'm just thankful for the win.
We say a huge congratulations to all the winners. Once again, those highlights come to you courtesy Ordonez Bike Shop. We now move into some basketball action. The Venice Inter-Office Basketball League is currently underway with games being held weekly inside the St. Catherine Auditorium. Tonight we bring you highlights from Friday night's matchup between the Grace Kennedy Kings and the undefeated Belize City Council Dragons, courtesy RY Productions. The Grace Kennedy Kings wins the tip-off. Number 6 for the Kings, Lindsey Young, dribbles past 2 defenders, goes up, draws a foul, and puts up the basket to place his team on the scoreboard. 53 seconds left in the first quarter. Aubrun Rivero takes it to the basket and misses the layup. His teammate Shaquem Valerio with the rebound and the putback for 2 points to tie the game. The first quarter ended with a 14-point tie. 3 minutes left in the half. Kings in possession of the ball. Throw in to Cambrel Barrow. Back to captain Carol Tench. Tench with the strong drive to the basket to give his team the lead. On the other end is Kevin Hamilton with the fast break and the quick jumper to tie the game. The half ended with the Grace Kennedy Kings in the lead, 25 points to the Dragons' 20 points. The Belize City Council Dragons continued to trail at the end of the third quarter with 34 points to the Kings' 42 points. In the fourth and final quarter, it's Aubrun Rivero with the ball. Ball to Hamilton under the rim. Hamilton tosses it off to Valerio in the paint to complete the play. On the other end of the court, Kieran Salazar at the three-point line. Lindsey Young with a huge rebound, and he puts it back up to finish the play. Under a minute to go in this one, and the Kings are up by 7 points. Credel Gonzalez for the Belize City Council Dragons is left wide open at the three-point line, and he puts up a much-needed three. It's now a two-possession ball game. Dragons inbound to Hamilton with 19 seconds on the clock. Hamilton to Gonzalez at the three-point line. Gonzalez goes up, and that is money, folks. It is now a one-point game. The Grace Kennedy Kings, however, would go on to win the match by 1 point to end the Dragons' winning streak. Well, folks, that's all we have for you in tonight's coverage of Sports Monday. Catch you in the next one.
That's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.